Hey guys, welcome in. It's Wednesday. Lady, welcome. Fornado, welcome. Hey guys. So I've already managed to spill my tea on my desk tonight. Just a minor spill, but hopefully it's not a harbinger of things to come. So, Joel, welcome in, buddy. How's everybody doing tonight? Lady, I'm sorry you're sick, but at least you're in bed. It sounds like you have some delicious tea. Peach sounds really good, actually. I might have to get myself some of that next time we replenish tea. Thank you, Fornado. Yeah, so let's see. Tonight, I'm finishing off the beer I started earlier. It is a Rogue hazelnut ale. I love Rogue beer. They're out here for beer, tea, same shit. Yeah. Yeah, so Rogue is based out here in Oregon, and Oregon grows like well over 90% of the country's like hazelnuts. So Rogue has like a hazelnut ale. It's amazing. So I've been savoring that. We also currently brewing at the moment is a Celestial Seasonings Tension Tamer. So, Dan, welcome back, man. So your statement implies to me that you were in fact without power at one point. How are you doing down there? It sounds like Texas is a mess. Tantalizing tea. Yeah, no, I thought you were just saying like, you know, just a tantalizing variety of tea. It is tantalizing, but in a tension-free kind of way. 6 last night. Damn, that sucks. It's titillating tea, not naughty. That's what we'll go with here. So yeah, I gotta power down this beer, you know, before I can get to the tea. Hopefully those throat sounds aren't, you know, being captured by the mic in crystal clear quality. Nothing 5 blankets wouldn't help. Well, I'm glad it wasn't too bad for you. It sounds awful for the folks who are really affected by it down in Texas. So I'm glad you're doing all right, man. Let's see here. I hate being cold. Like I will take like hot and sweaty like any time rather than like being shivering and freezing. I hate it. Yeah, exactly, lady. Just a nightmare. All right, the tea bag has been removed from the tea. I'm probably gonna burp horribly after finishing this off. It is what it is, for better or worse. Just waiting for them to shut off my power. Rolling blackouts. Ah, yeah, that sounds terrible. We had a bunch of ice here this weekend, but luckily we didn't lose any power. I really thought we would because I think the last snow we had, we lost power just from branches falling and stuff. But we were lucky this weekend, and it's all melted now. So you would never know that it had snowed in the last few days. Don't burp horribly, burp proudly. Thank you. I will heed this advice. I will let it go when I get the urge. The heat is way more extreme than the cold. And, well, remind me, you're in New Zealand, is that right? Or out that way? You overmodded your Fallout and it crashed. A big tree came down at my friend in Oregon's place just from the ice weight on it. Yeah. So we've got an old neighborhood. Like where we live is like kind of a, I don't know, I think it was built in like 2000 or something. So not that old, but right across the street from us is like an old neighborhood with a bunch of old houses and really tall trees, like really, really tall trees. Gorgeous place to walk through, but every time we get a windstorm or like winter ice, I'm like terrified I'm gonna find out that one of these trees toppled over and like smashed a house like completely. It's crazy. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, I've been reading stuff about the Texas electrical grid. I'm not I never heard that they were not on the same grid as everybody. That's really interesting. Yeah, what are we doing tonight? We're in Act 3 of the game. So heading into the end game, and we have some companion quests that popped up. So we are gonna work on those tonight. If we finish them all, we'll continue with the main story. I suspect, although I've proven to be wrong about this in the past, that I might have maybe 2 or 3 streams after this before I'm done with the game. So that's exciting. We're gonna find out how this all turns out, and then we'll play something new. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all the prep that I have. Beer's almost finished. Drink 1. Drink 2. All right. So, lady, I think. Oh, hold on. I gotta take this tea. Oh, so good. So I think after this, I'm gonna play a game called Iron Danger that Artyom Havoc gifted me, and he played on stream. At one point. It's like a top-down RPG similar to this, but it's got a kind of time rewind mechanic. There's like a timeline at the bottom of the screen, and you can scrub back and forth through it to kind of like change your actions, and it sounds kind of puzzly, but also kind of RPG-ish. So, and it's supposed to be relatively short. So that's the plan. For what's next, and then I'm still debating what I'm gonna play after that. It might be Final Fantasy, it might be I don't know, I'm kind of in the mood for like BioShock or maybe Metro, something like that, like a shooter. It will probably just come down to what I'm in the mood for the day I decide to stream, basically. So but I'm also open to suggestions as well. So, but yeah, next game will be shorter. I wanted something not quite as long as this one. So that's the plan for now. Remnants. Yeah, I looked into that game a little bit then, and I don't know if it's for me. I don't know. I don't know. It's not something I want to put money down on right now, if nothing else, but it's in the back of my mind now. It's on my list to check out more at some point. So, there'll be lore. There will definitely be lore. You know, if I played BioShock, if they didn't have voice acting for the audio logs, I would be reading every single one. So, well, then I would be grateful, but please don't feel like you have to do that. But thank you for thinking of me. I'm a whore for lore. Oh Lord, we're whores together, baby. That's how we roll around here. All right. So on that note, let's get right into it. Let's fill that lore hole if we can. What are we doing here? And we're pregnant again. God. We just went through this. Have I played Lands of Lore? I have not. It certainly sounds up my alley. I have not heard of it either, actually. So let's check the journal and remind ourselves what we're actually doing. So I think we're nearing the end of Verse's companion quest. So we'll finish that. And then Lantry has his companion quest. And then it also looks like down here, Ebb has something to say to us. So we will... Should really be called Lands of Sean. Yeah. If you want to play a bad game, check out Dungeon Lords. It was my first PC game. Dungeon Lords. See, I haven't heard of that one either. So, okay. I have a memory from like first or second grade. We had Prodigy Internet, like way, way early. This would have been like 89 or so. And it had some kind of first-person dungeon crawler on it. I didn't know that that's what it was at the time. I was too young. I mean, I just clicked on things, and then monsters came and killed me. But I've always wondered what that game was that I played. And I don't know. I wonder if it's one of these classic games or if it's just something that Prodigy made, like, for, you know, like $2, you know, in a day or something, and then just shoveled out to their subscribers. I don't know, but I have no idea what that game was, but I'd be curious to find it if I could. And it had Patrick Stewart in it. That's awesome. So we've had Patrick Stewart in this game. We've had it in, we've had him in Oblivion. I wonder what other games he's been in. I feel like he must have popped up in like Wing Commander or something at some point. Just because Mark Hamill was in Wing Commander, so of course Patrick Stewart must be. All right, let's talk to Ebb here, since her little dialogue thing is glowing. So let's find out what she has to say to us. Then we'll head back to the Spire and talk to Verse, and then depending on how that goes, we'll do Lantry's quest next. So, Ebb. Why is nothing...
Hail, mighty Archon.
Here we go. I need to unpause the game. Mark Hamill is in everything, and he's amazing. I love Mark Hamill. Ebb salutes you with a nod, pounding her staff to the ground as she stands in attention. I suspect she's going to mock us for being named the new Archon.
Your newfound power runs in the face of what I thought I knew. All my life, I've been told Kairos alone can issue an edict. And yet, here you are, proclaiming mastery of the lands just like the Overlord.
Well, okay. So, right, as a quick reminder, in the last game, in the last stream, we were proclaimed a new Archon by Kairos, and we can kind of proclaim Kairos's previous edicts. They fade away after time, but we can definitely do that. So that's pretty epic and threatening to certain people, probably enticing to others. So, very interesting indeed. So the question is, do we want to use this power to like go against the Overlord? Do we want to support him? Like how are we going to respond to this power? My plan right now is to continue to be a loyal servant of the Overlord. That's basically been my MO this whole playthrough, and I don't currently have a reason to go a different way. However, if the game presents me with the option to like kill both of the factions that we've been navigating between, I might take it. You know, I might clean house for Kairos and institute my own will in place of the Scarlet Chorus and the Disfavored. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so anyway, Ebb is seemingly in awe rather than mocking us. She said, I am just like the Overlord. So in response, I could say I'm not. Oh, right. The gender of the Overlord has been ambiguous in this game. So here we have two options, the only difference of which is the gender that we go with. Let's just go with, I can replicate her powers, but I'm not just like the Overlord.
You say that now. Let's see if you still feel this way when the reality sinks in, and your mastery of this newfound power solidifies. The world now bows to your mere utterance. Each day you will grow stronger, while the world becomes weaker in comparison.
This is a little more serious than what I'm used to from Ebb. Still don't know what the real gender is. Might not actually matter. I mean, maybe they're beyond gender. Like if they're so powerful that it doesn't even really matter or apply anymore. It's an interesting idea for sure. Like the more powerful you become, the kind of less human in general. I mean, the Voices of Narada is kind of like that. So yeah, it's an interesting idea.
Put another way, if I could do what you do, the world would be at the mercy of my depravity. Cursing the name of Ebb, Archon of Fecund Fluids. Let's hope your moral sextant isn't as crooked as my own.
I've never heard the word fecund out loud before. I always thought it was pronounced fecund because I don't know, that's just what I guessed. So we learned something today.
Your newfound power runs in the face of what I thought I knew. All my life, I've been told Kairos alone can issue an edict. And yet, here you are, proclaiming mastery of the lands just like the Overlord.
Yeah, I think it means like rank or at least odorous, kind of. I'm not 100% sure about that, but yeah, I've seen it in like books and stuff. Perhaps there are others besides me in the Overlord.
I should certainly hope not. Tyranny isn't large enough for Kairos, and it's certainly going to get very interesting if the two of you start waving your edicts to and fro.
Waving your edicts to and fro. Good. If anyone has cast an edict other than Kairos in the last 431 years, I'm certain we would know. There would have been witnesses and evidence that outran Kairos' march west. The sages would have heard of it.
Your newfound power runs in the face of what I thought I knew. All my life, I've been told Kairos.
It's fortunate then that you are sworn to me.
Yes, fortunate indeed. I will endeavor to be worthy of the honor.
Okay.
Your newfound power.
All right, enough about me for the moment.
What is it you need?
All right, I guess that's all she had to say. She just is commenting on the current status quo, I guess. Oh, her. All right, let's head out of here. Okay, we wanted to go to the mountain spire to finish talking with Verse. Okay. Your journey is interrupted by a messenger from the mountain spire. A short young man with a lank flop of dark hair and a surprisingly full beard, the messenger bears bloodshot eyes and a nervous disposition. Ever since your issuance of the edict against your foes at Vendrian's Well, the courier tells you, the Valley of Apex has been beset by an ever-increasing number of Bane. The creatures seem inimical to all life, and their predations have the people of Apex hiding in terror rather than tending the fields. If this keeps up, the lands you've claimed will not be able to support your spire, regardless of how rapacious your tax collectors become. The messenger asks what orders you wish returned to the spire. So our options are inquire further, give your orders, ignore the Bane. Let's inquire further. You press the messenger for more details. He tells you that there have been scattered Banes sighted throughout the valley, but they're thickest around Vendrian's Well Citadel and in the mountains that ring the Old Dominion. They've attacked a handful of travelers and devastated livestock throughout the valley. Given that the farms are still recovering from the conquest, the rise of the Vendrian Guard, and the subsequent civil war between the Archons, it couldn't be a worse time for Bane to appear in the Apex. It's true. This peninsula has been through a lot lately. You consider how best to deal with the threat your edict has stirred. We can pay 10,000 rings to hire mercenaries, which is kind of cool. We can lure the Bane away. Also interesting. Request aid from your allies. Or ignore the Bane. Let's play nice. You merely adopted the lore. I was born in it. I need like a Bane voice filter to apply at will to the microphone. Yeah, that way, you know, I get all these sound settings tweaked perfectly on the mic, and then I immediately ruin it completely by just an incomprehensible lore filter. Yeah, just terrible. Just the worst. Anyway, let's play nice and request the aid from our allies. You prepare a missive of your own, but which allies will you reach out to for aid against the Bane? We have the Scarlet Chorus, the Court of Fatebinders, or just lure them away and continue to ignore them. I mean, if you're going to go the way of the last movie, just put your hand over your mouth. Yeah. I liked that last movie. I know not everybody did, but there was something about it that appealed to me. We're gonna request help from the Court of the Fatebinders. I don't want to unleash the Scarlet Chorus on our people. That just seems like a bad idea. You gained favor with Bledenmark. You gained wrath with Tunon. That's interesting. And you gained favor with Vendrian Guard. You address your missive to Nunaval, Fatebinder of War, in the Bastard City, and request his aid in the Valley of Apex. You note that normally you wouldn't tax the Adjudicator's agents with such a menial task, but you thought he might enjoy the opportunity to set his mettle against the Bane. You suggest that Rogulus, too, may be interested in their study, and can certainly add to the surety of a victory over the arcane horrors. The messenger takes your missive and leaves to find a bird to Tunon's court. Just couldn't understand Bane. No, totally. I mean, turn on the subtitles for that movie because you need them. Vendrian Guard, I guess, likes us a little more, even though they really hate us, you know. Tunon, we still have more favor than wrath with him. I don't entirely understand why, but that's okay. All right. See what Verse has to say, and we'll take a nap while we're here as well. I think we can do it here. Yes, we can. Okay, let's talk to Verse, see what she has to say. As still as an owl on its perch, Verse stares in the direction of Cacophony, a warm breeze from the east playing at the feathers festooning her head.
Fatebinder.
Almost no movement accompanies her subdued greeting. Verse? It's like Shepherd, Rex, Shepherd, Rex.
I feel my sisters twisting around inside me, Binder. I can't tell whether they're dancing or trying to cut their way out. Or both.
I don't know if she means this, like, literally. Because I think earlier she mentioned, like, I feel like I'm burning it on the inside or something. And I was a little confused if it was just, like, her, like, having emotions she was unfamiliar with, or if she was, like, literally burning on the inside with, like, magic power or something. Well, what do you mean? Let's find out.
You know when you think about someone and you can almost hear their voice in the back of your head or see the lines of their body?
She pinches the bridge of her nose, her eyes closed. Alien is gonna pop out.
It's a little like that.
I mean, why not?
Completely unbidden and not quite constant, but damn near enough.
It sounds like you're trying to justify your own tumultuous feelings.
Maybe, like, all this passion, this wild, frenzied lust, it's actually coming from me. I'm just giving it my sister's voices. Or something.
She splays her fingers before her, apparently taking a vested interest in the grime beneath her nails.
It feels like all that's in front of me is a gorge so wide and so deep that there's nothing to see but wide open air.
She shoots a look at you.
Say we come out of this with minds and bodies intact. You've got the tears and the Overlord has everything else. Then what?
Okay, this is kind of a statement of commitment to the Overlord, or not, is kind of what these responses are. And I think based on what I said earlier, we're going to continue to commit. So anything I have belongs to the Overlord, just like me.
I just hope the Overlord is of a mind with you on that.
A smirk captures the corner of her mouth. Yeah, I hope the Overlord is not unhappy with me as well.
The Voices... I can't imagine him bending the knee to you. Whatever you've got planned, if you're walking into the heart of his power, you'd better be kitted for war.
I'll find a way to deal with the Voices of Narada.
Are you just now looking for one? The Voices probably has 16 or 17 plots and counterplots already in motion.
I'd go with chasm instead of gorge there based on that description. I started streaming Icewind Dale last night. Much less lore than in this game, of course. More scrapes instead. Yeah, that's what I've heard about Icewind Dale, that it's basically a pretty dedicated dungeon crawler, right? Like, there's not much in the way of story. You literally play all games I've never heard of. I don't know how you do it. Yeah, I've heard of Icewind Dale, and there's 1 and 2, right? There's 2 of them. Would anyone in chat know anything about modding Fallout 4? When I played Fallout 4, I modded it just a little bit. Like I installed like the mod that makes the text actually display what your character will say in dialogue. Small things like that. I didn't really go too crazy with it. First stream was probably 75% story, but after that the ratios turned quite a bit. Does Icewind Dale have like defined characters, or do you have to generate your own like party? Yeah, when I mod Bethesda games, I usually do it with a light touch. Like I don't go too crazy with it. You know, maybe some graphics mods and like little tweaks here and there. So if you got a question, feel free to ask it, Den, but I'm not sure, how much help I could be.
The Voices has more years behind him than a person can rightly imagine. If anyone's ever dug up a way to cheat the Void, it would be him.
I go as crazy as I can get. I just didn't do it by group this time. Gotcha. I mean, I've totally done the thing where, like, I break like Morrowind or something and I just delete the whole game and download it again, which of course what I should do is back up the folder before I mod it, but that's not much help. I know. You start with up to 6 characters in Icewind Dale that you make, or pick a pre-made party of 6. Okay. And you don't gain or lose characters like in Baldur's Gate. Okay. Okay, Joel, we need to get you playing Skyrim, and we'll install a mod of some kind. Best thing to do is organize your mods by groups, so like weapons, creatures, and other stuff. Then download them. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, Nexus and Mod Manager type stuff is the biggest recommendations I've heard, but obviously it's not foolproof. I think what's one of the reasons I keep it light with modding is because I don't want to have those conflicts and stuff, but that's just me.
What if that way is me? We know he was preparing me for something. What if he made some trap door into me? What if he's hiding inside me right now?
I'm remembering that earlier on in this game, I was suspicious that Verse was spying on us for Narada, but it sounds like even if that's true, she's not like feeling positively disposed towards him at the moment, so I was just gonna say for an 200 mods, good lord. I was just gonna say, make sure you have what is it, like the modded EXE that lets you address more than 4 gigs of RAM, because that's when you get into that many mods, you probably do need that. I'm trying to remember if Skyrim Special Edition needed that. I can't remember, but Skyrim original version did need it for sure. Always. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So what if he's hiding inside me right now? If the Voices tries to use you as a door, I'll shut and bar it permanently.
I don't know if you meant that to be reassuring, but it was. That asshole tries to come out of me. Don't bother trying to set things right. Just slice me up and be done with it.
Okay. We will.
But make sure he's actually through first. Don't gut me just because he starts knocking.
She conjures a grim smile.
Speaking of, any suggestions on what to do if I feel him creeping around in here?
She taps the side of her head. We're going to go with figure out who Verse is and stay Verse. I think embrace your humanity is a little too, like, touchy-feely for her. And be harder than him is a little too... I don't know. Earlier we had a conversation with her where she didn't want to turn into Narada with whatever it is her power is. So I think 1 would kind of go against that conversation. So we'll go with number 3.
Now you're going to have me asking how I'm not myself? Don't try and turn me into a sage.
I've never tried that many. I've heard of some good 70, 80 mod loadouts. They aren't all mods. Some of that is Creation Club stuff and mod patches. Still adds up in terms of RAM usage, I guess, and possibly conflicts with some mods. Can be hard to tell. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely turns into, like, enabling 1 at a time to see where the problem is. But good luck. That's why I don't go that deep on mods.
We've got shit to do, right? Don't let me hold you up. And thanks, Fatebinder. Arcbinder.
Arcbinder. Verse grins. Okay, so next step for her is confront the Voices of Narada alongside Verse. So when we head over to Cacophony again, we will certainly do that. And Verse has gained the Burning Hatred ability. That's delightful. Verse. Okay, well, I don't see this ability. Maybe I'll just take them at their word. Weird. Okay, I don't know. It claims I unlocked a new ability, but I don't see it anywhere, so I guess we won't worry about it too much. Okay, let's take a nap. Rest our characters.
On it.
If I can select them all properly. Would you like to rest? Yes, I would. Okay. So next thing to do is Lantry's quest. So Lantry stashed another chronicle that may clarify some of what he's read in Lexim's chronicles. Go with him to the stash site. All right, we'll have to remind ourselves where that site is, but I don't think it'll be too hard to find. It is the one conveniently labeled Lantry's Hideaway, so I think we found it. Okay. Search the stash site. Let's poke around here. Gonna poke around first before... Never mind. Instead, we'll watch cutscene. About time. Do you realize how difficult it is to get your gang to just sit in ambush and wait? Without a daily rut or tussle, this motley's a stubborn bunch. Alright, Princess, you owe me a debt of blood. Everybody needs their daily rut or tussle, or tussle. You come here in Scarlet whining about past debts? I owe you nothing. And now you're trespassing in the only corner of Terratus I can call my own. Kindly shuffle off, lest things get ugly. Probably runs out of RAM at some point. I found that happening until I disabled his high-res texture mod, though I only have 8 gigs of RAM total. Yeah, if your video card can't handle high-res textures, that could also cause problems, I would imagine. Separate from the PC RAM, you know, your video card RAM also plays a role. Lantry is... Actually, yeah. Lantry, why did she call you Princess? You disguise yourself once, it becomes this recurring topic. Lantry shakes his head with a frustrated wag of his hand. The Voices of Narada believes you've outlived your usefulness. I will take great joy in snapping your old bones. The Voices of Narada? Has Lantry been working for the Voices of Narada this whole time? I have 6 gigs of VRAM for reference, yeah. Yeah, I think I have 8 on my current card, I think. With a shrill whistle, the Blood Chanter signals an attack. So are we about to find out that Lantry's been spying on us this whole time? I guess we'll find out after we murder these delightful folk. All right. We'll just start at the front.
I'm not here to be around.
All right, let's drop this AoE heal here, even though our main character is kind of out of range. But that's okay.
Lay off, you little shit.
See that? I'm not entirely useless.
Fall before me.
Okay, well, everybody seems to be taking care of themselves so far. Okay, one down, so... Oh, we got a level up.
Harsh words would cause more harm than this useless weapon.
Okay, suddenly my character was taking a lot of hits, but... we just killed somebody, so that got us some health.
My weapon.
We're doing just fine.
Uh-huh. Will do.
Okay, now we just gotta focus down the rest, and this should go pretty smoothly.
Useless.
This weapon is like nipples on men. I love Ebb.
Pity you won't enjoy this as much as I do.
I need to try a different weapon.
Okay.
Can't
Okay.
do that.
Okay. Let's go pick up some stuff. And let's level up Ebb. All right, let's give her a bonus to health. And let's see, what do we want? Let's just boost her abilities at night even further. I think that sounds delightful. And, okay, let's fill in the map like we were going to before we were interrupted. Someone said something like that to my mom once. Wait, like what? Nipples on men or something else? All right, I don't think there's anything else here. All right, let's find this chronicle and see what Landry has to say to us. Wow, look at all this lore hidden in here. Not even hidden, I mean, it's just out for everybody to see. When she was a kid, starting to work, they told her she was more useless than two tits on a bull. Oh, it's amazing. An expression here, at least, is you're as useless as tits on a bull. Awesome. Okay, that's amazing. I love that. All right, what do we find in here? A bunch of junk. And some other stuff that's... could be anything. These shelves contain countless numbers of scrolls, organized in a way that can only be described as chaos. Examine the bookshelf. After a few minutes of searching, Lantry grabs hold of a dusty tome with a triumphant smile. Thank Kairos, it's still here. I'll only be a moment. Wasn't sure if it was a New Zealand thing or a bigger thing. Well, I think we answered that question. An hour passes as Lantry flips through the pages of his book, slowly spelling out a coded message as he goes. Is that right? Oh, I did that wrong. Let's try that again with less stupid. You found anything, Lantry? I forgot we did the code backwards. Word, paragraph, page instead of page, paragraph, word. This is dreadfully embarrassing. Bear with me. Let's glare silently. Apologies, I'm slow, but I'm cute. I'll get this figured out shortly, trust me. Lantry is kind of cute in his own way. 2 hours pass, and still, Lantry has yet to finish his work. Did you find anything? Well, I've discovered this is a dreadfully slow way to communicate long sentences. It won't be much longer, I promise. We're going to glare silently again. With a gruff clearing of his throat, Lantry dives back into his task with nervous energy. I'm an Archon now, don't waste my time. I'm sure you were wondering which would happen first, me finishing this task or dying of old age. I'm pleased to report it's the former. Alright, what did you find, Lantry? Well, I have a set of instructions that will take me nowhere near any village or town I can think of. And that sounds like an ideal place to hide things. Luxime didn't know you'd be summoned to the wound, yet there is a message for you in her works? Something isn't right. Lantry, are you lying to me? Yes, well, she and I have been writing these texts for years. Lantry's face turns deep red as he talks. I think she started leaving me this message before the war, and I'm coming across it maybe later than intended. Okay, any idea what's hidden there? Not exactly. The obvious answer is something salvaged from the Citadel, but I can't say for certain. This is telling me where, not what or why. Well, how do you know this isn't a trap? Consider someone was waiting for me here, I can't rule it out. But we're deceptively competent in battle, so the joke will be on them, right? So are we done here, buddy? Indeed we are. Thank you for your patience. The directions have us looking for a field of indigo. I couldn't tell you the name of the nearest town or village, but the message includes enough landmarks that I can probably get us there. All right, let's be going. The writing desk looks as though it was well used. The current parchment on it is only half written, as if the writer...
Bird watching from that desk. When you're older, you'll start liking boring things too.
It's true. It's true, guys. You'll find yourself just watching the most boring things, and you'll, instead of being bored, you'll just be calmed, rejuvenated. It's coming for all of you. Just you wait. These buckets each contain some sort of bush or shrub. They've been dried up.
Oh, curse my negligence. I was going to make ink from those leaves.
No. These shells contain countless numbers of scrolls organized in chaos. Okay. Let's head to the indigo fields. Okay. Where is this place? North. North, it looks like. I wouldn't have thought the combination of beer and tea would go so well. Or at least tea or beer followed by tea, but it's hitting the spot, I gotta say.
Can't do that.
Okay, we have a conspicuously interactive bush here. These berry bushes are chock full of clusters of ripe berries.
Kairos be praised, we found it!
Rubbing his hands together, grinning ear to ear, Landry eyes the berry bush with anticipation. I thought we were looking for another chronicle stash, not a bunch of berries.
I don't recall specifying as such, but I see why you may have thought that.
Landry, come on. What's going on here?
Only need a moment. This won't be like last time, where a moment means half a day. If my understanding is correct, these berries only need a little alcohol to make them absorb into the skin and cause you to bleed.
I'm sorry, cause what? A blue-stained hand reaches out and touches you by the wrist. A searing burn upon the surface of your skin quickly turns into spreading, blissful warmth. Oh my. Though his mouth moves to form words, nothing reaches your ears. The world begins to tremble as your breath expands to fill the whole of your body with vigor. Here we go. Oh boy. Yep. Time to trip balls. Oh. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, this takes me back.
Oh no. That's the Voices of Narada, everybody. Okay. A calm, tranquil haze creeps in, unhinging your muscles from your mind. For 8 days, the Archon of Shadows would lurch from the dark, jabbing your posture back into right order at first sign of a slouch. As the berries dissolve your motor control, the muscle memories of those 8 miserable days rush in to fill the void. Time to see why Landry is my favorite. Oh man, I'm excited. Okay. Moments of the past come briefly into view. At first, the figure of Tunon takes shape, followed by faces from your childhood, until memories of recent years flood your mind's eye. While the faces come and go, one figure emerges from the noise, unwilling to dissipate into the fog of the past. We can choose to remain calm. We can say, "Are you seeing what I'm seeing?" Or say, "Warn me next time you decide to poison me." I'm not entirely sure who we're addressing here. But let's remain calm. We're the new Archon. We are calm and steady.
Then we have a deal. You'll receive further instructions by way of missive. We will use a plethora of names when writing to you, but you will know us by our seal.
The form of the Voices of Narada, Archon of Secrets, congeals from the visions, flipping his scepter as he paces triumphantly. His attention seems directed at Lantry, who appears far younger than you ever remember seeing him, though his white features and wrinkles momentarily flash in and out of view. You hear the voices in your head. Of all the people in Terratus, you dream of us. Oh, Archon, you flatter us so. It's almost a shame the Overlord insists we play this game of murder and dominance among us Archons, but such things were inevitable since long before this war. I love anytime Narada speaks to us telepathically through text like this. It's just such a neat detail about this game. I've never seen any game do anything remotely close to this.
5 parts water, 2 parts red grape juice, 1 part ash. I'm still not convinced I can play the part. Considering how insular the school is, I don't see how any will trust me.
Okay, let's continue to remain calm.
Oh, they will suspect you. And when that time comes, we will make sure our other sage is discovered. You will point the finger at him. Your dedication to rooting out trouble will be hailed by all. We have a contingency for most everything. Relax.
The Voices of Narada turns its head until one face is squarely looking at you, the other at Lantry. The Archon emits a hearty chuckle as it juggles its scepter.
Wait, you already have someone there. How do I meet up with this person?
Plots within plots.
What did we tell you? Your first objective is to blend into the school. Besides, if our other sage is discovered and you're close, we lose you both. You have so much to learn about this craft.
Okay, we'll continue to remain calm as we see this crazy vision.
You are right. We have much to learn. And all will be forgiven.
What will be forgiven?
Finally, you understand. Learning is quite literally all we need of you, at least for the time being. Watch, listen, report. Not so hard, right? And to answer your question, yes, all will be forgiven.
The Archon passes his scepter from one hand to the next, humming with each toss. You hear the voices in your head. All will be forgiven. Those were the words Kairos spoke to us oh so long ago, back when we were I. Resist or serve, they are 2 sides to the same role. I'm getting pretty tempted to voice my concerns here, but I think we'll continue to remain calm. We are the Archon, we can do it.
But we need to hear you say it. Do we have a deal?
Yes, my answer is yes.
We're going to have a beautiful future. Serve well, and you just might be a part of it.
Just a reminder that we found Lantry in a Scarlet Chorus camp, tied up. So I don't know. These are startling revelations. I just don't know what to make of any of it. The Archon's head spins slowly. Each time its face passes you, the expression on the mask becomes more and more twisted and taut, until at last its features are no longer a face. Lady, have a great night. I hope you feel better tomorrow, and thank you so much for coming to hang out tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you. By now, I ought to have learned to grab a bucket before doing things like this. The vision of Narada fades into a swirl of flames. Your surroundings ripple, distorted by the heat of a blinding summer day that seems barely tepid to your touch. A new figure emerges from the fire. Chiasmus. And it will be the third time I turn you down. Even the youngest scribe learns that repeating a thing does not make it more true. Then what of my plan for a second archive? Pretend I'm wrong. Pretend Kairos isn't coming. A second vault would be rings well spent considering the schools of tides and wild... Okay, so this is another flashback, and Lantry is trying to save the, I guess, texts and knowledge from the Vellum Citadel before it was burned down. I'm guessing he was not successful. Let's continue to remain calm. Our defenses rival that of even Citadel stand keep, yet you would waste our efforts building for the day they fail? My dear Landry, stick to your chronicles. Your job is to record our decisions, not to decide what the record will be. You know, I hate it when you talk like that. Even the most addled scribe learns that covering your ears and doubting a fact doesn't make it go away. If we surrender before war breaks out, we have a chance to... The enemy need muster a single battalion, and you're ready to give up? The very dumbest thing we can do is let the Overlord's reputation undo us without a fight. As long as I am in charge, we will not cower. It's interesting we have an option to breathe rapidly now, but I'm just going to continue with the calmness. Then you lead us into ruin. Sage, redundant sage, was right. The last 10 years have made us fat, foolish, addicted to prosperity. You think me incautious? You think you're the only sage telling me what must be done? You impertinent little fuck, I know you have others swallowing the lies who ink them. Your absent-minded charade doesn't work on me. You poison their minds against me and have the gall to pretend like you're some well-meaning mentor trying to be the kindly champion of the concerned student. Do you think I am blind to the Overlord? Because I do not act with your reactionary zeal does not mean I fail to act at all. We are, of course, taking precautions. A failure to plan is a plan to fail, after all. Now you're just doing it to enrage me. I think I will be alive to record you as the very final provost of the School of Ink and Quill. May Kairos prove me wrong, but this proud school will perish on your tenure. All right. Then we are lucky that several dozen sages are in line to inherit the Scrivener's eye before it falls to you. But you worry too much, my dear Lantry. The way you see the world, we win either way. If Kairos invades, well then we owe you one big you were right, and won't that make you feel great? And if Kairos doesn't invade, well, then you and everyone in the tiers wins. The Chronicle will note your hubris. Not if an objective chronicler is doing the writing. Your passion and convictions are a troublesome sign for one trusted to observe all things as they are. Perhaps you are not fit for this role. I apologize for even mentioning this matter. I will take my leave. Always a pleasure, Brother Lantry. Okay, this is probably a new flashback, right? Are you saying my memories? Because it sure felt like Fatebinder Callio was grabbing my crotch, and I would have remembered that. Flames assault your senses, and the vision of the sage changes before your eyes. The second sage stands before you, this one a familiar face, Lexime. Though dressed in the tattered attire you saw her wearing, her features look decades younger, and her face alights with a joy and energy you did not see in the sleepless Lexime of your own memories. No. Splay your pointer and lazy finger like so. Then do a 2/3 twist. Oh, okay. We are still being calm, but we're gonna try to follow along with Lexime's magical gestures. Your hands slowly trace the same patterns. Your body's still lagging from the berry's debilitating effects. Try as you might, you can't seem to work any magic from the gesture, though you conclude that, in theory at least, she would be casting a simple illumination spell. The last step of her hand gesture is unknown to you, and you are unable to mimic it with certainty. I know you're immune to flattery, but I assure you, you have some sort of natural accent, and I can't replicate it for the life of me. Yes, I'm sure you say that to all the lasses your quill wants to dip. And I'm not some phenon, hush. Aren't you the one who says Kairos has some shadowy hunter that kills would-be Archons? If I'm as special as you insist, you best keep your lecture spout shut. Let's remain calm. Laugh all you want, but everything I'm hearing leads me to believe Kairos will be here soon. I'd wager that by the year 430, we'll be overrun with disfavored. Well, considering the Princess of Stalwart has all sorts of eyes and ears across Terratus, if you have it on good authority, it simply must be true. I'm trying to be serious here. When the war starts, field study will get curtailed, and we'll have a fight on our hands we can't survive. I have a few cottages throughout the tiers where we could hide. We can make our way into the mountains, use our magic to hide. You know I can't. I'm taking on 3 new scribes, and if we turn our backs on the school and you're wrong, then where does that leave us? Hunted by all the schools. That's where. But Kairos is inevitable. War is going to happen. Do you want to let it roll down the hill and crush us all? Or do you want to do something about it? I want to be here when it happens to chronicle it. I would assume, that is what you want as well. What I want is irrelevant. We'll burn that bridge when we come to it. May be a long way away. Now, I have some spare sepia, and we have several hours until dinner is served. Shall we? So 3 flashbacks.
After all that, I think I need a stiff drink to calm the noises. How are you feeling?
Ready for more. Give it to me.
More? Oh, to be your age again. I wouldn't recommend it, but maybe empty your bowels first, just to be safe.
Always good to be safe about your bowels.
Thank you for indulging me. Lexime and I shared such berries once, long ago. When I found the directions in her writings, I had a hunch it would take me to her source.
Was it what you were hoping to experience?
Well, I don't know what I was expecting, honestly. I think I just wanted to talk to the Lexime I remembered. The Lexime she has become is not the person I thought I loved. But what we want isn't always what actually happens. She'd have known that if she lived by the truth of the Chronicle.
Has correcting the record afforded you some peace?
Considering these Chronicle fragments would have remained corrupted without me, yes, I feel I've done history a service.
And you're certain your understanding is more accurate?
Is this an argument for epistemological skepticism? Well, I can say with certainty that I have never willingly obfuscated the record. I never thought I'd be undoing the deceit of another chronicler, but I suppose if you live long enough, you see it all.
The Chronicle certainly seems safer in your hands.
You honor me, Archon, but I'm merely doing my duty as a scholar.
I doubt she'll be pleased by you undoing her work.
So be it. When she sullied the Chronicle, she lost the right to speak on behalf of history. And I would prefer not to cross paths with Lexime again. How you saw her in our visions is how I want to remember her.
So what if I started ordering you to alter the story of me? Exhaling loudly, Lantry casts a scowl your way. I'm joking, of course.
Yes,
Too soon, too soon.
bit too soon for that.
All right, ready to keep moving?
Thank you. I think I needed this last interaction with Lexime before I replace her pages in the Chronicle. Well then, enough chatter for now. Let's be on our way.
Okay. So we unlocked another achievement called String Not Found, so I still find that hilarious. Who would have guessed Lantry was working with the voices all along? Yeah, I wish I had been able to kind of query him about that a little more, but it didn't give me the option. What's today? Today is the 17th. Complete Lantry's companion quest. That must be what we just unlocked. All right, cool. Cool. Okay, I think what we want to do next is head to the Bastard City and meet up with Tunon. I have a suspicion we're going to get into a big old fight with Bledenmark, but we'll see. Dan, anything I should do before I head to the Bastard City at this point? I don't have much in my journal that kind of indicates anything else, but it feels like we're kind of heading into the end game here. So if you have any final tips, do let me know. I don't think so. Cool. All right, let's go to the Bastard City. Tunon's Court. This feels like there should be more available to explore in the city. Oh, that's too bad, Dan. Well, hey, have a great night, and please stay warm. I know your power's back, but still, be safe down there. And yeah, I'll probably be going for another couple hours, so I'll look forward to seeing you again. This is going to be an interesting experience, I think. Face Tunon's judgment. It's exciting. No more proceedings would be held for nobles today. This court is closed. This is an outrage. We demand to be heard. This decree is not subject to deliberation. The officers will escort you all out.
Fatebinder, thank you for answering my summons. This could very well be the defining hour of the conquest.
We will bow to Tunon.
I first want to make it clear why we've assembled today. After the collapse of Vendrian's Well and the start of the Civil War, it became clear to me that there must have been some great fault on the part of the Archons. We come together to root out the source of our troubles and determine which of the Archons has sown more chaos during the war.
I think the answer to that question is obvious, Adjudicator. Giving voice to it here is but a formality to confirm what we already know. So, as a quick reminder, we have been siding with the Scarlet Chorus faction. We could have sided with the disfavored faction, but we chose to go with the Scarlet Chorus because they sounded cool, basically. They are a bunch of raving psychopaths, though, so if the opportunity presents itself to kind of throw both of these factions under the bus, I'm going to try to take that. Otherwise, we are going to point the finger at the disfavored. That's the plan. We'll see how it ends up going, but Tunon turns to aim what you can only assume is a stern look. He refocuses back onto you with cool stoicism.
Much has happened since I dispatched you on that mission. With Kairos' mandate that only one Archon may rule the Tiers, the verdict is now more important than ever. We cannot allow this conquest to descend into total anarchy. You expressed your support for the Scarlet Chorus at the start of the Civil War, and it would seem your loyalties are consistent with those claims. Does that sound accurate?
The Scarlet Chorus makes for a strange ally, but I've learned much from them. Oh, from them. I was a faithful agent to the Scarlet Chorus. We'll go with that. Aye, and we remember our friends, don't we? Bloodmulch winks.
Right now, your testimony is worth more to me than your loyalty, but we may address that later. In your professional and objective opinion, Which of the two Archons is guilty of sowing the most chaos in the tiers?
Both are guilty. They should be executed. I should have saved before this, but we're just gonna roll with it. The gang boss blinks. What? I'm afraid I have to echo that sentiment.
That is not an option. You were tasked with determining the guilt of one Archon and one Archon alone. Choose.
God, his voice is so good. Makes me nervous, man. All right, Graven Ash is guilty.
And so the charges are declared. I'm confident you've come with prepared arguments and research, as is expected of your station.
Well, I have a journal full of evidence that the video game has recorded for me, so hopefully that will be enough. I won't stand here and patiently sit through baseless accusations. Tunon passes her an empty look until she regains her composure and turns back to you.
In accordance to Kairos' legal custom, you will state the crimes against the Archon and offer up your evidence. The court will weigh your claims on their merits. I would encourage you to make as many claims as possible. Bringing charges against an Archon is no small matter. They are not accountable to Kairos' laws with the same rigidity as an average citizen, so it may be more difficult to justify their guilt.
Okay, so choose every dialogue option is what this sounds like to me. Understood. I won't withhold any legitimate claims from the court.
Provided that you have the evidence to back them, of course. To make a claim lacking evidence will only harm your case in the court's eyes. Is this understood?
Joel, have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming by. And sleep well, stay warm. And another day awaits us. Yes, I'll back up my accusations with hard facts. You no doubt recall the categories of infraction to which Archons may be held liable. They are sedition, incompetence, war crimes, and the hoarding of forbidden knowledge. Regalis nods to you. It is not every day that we are called upon to determine guilt on such a scale. Tread lightly. Excuse me.
Then we are ready to begin. State your claims, Fatebinder. You may proceed at your own pace.
I wish I could check my journal ahead of time. All right, well, let's start, I guess, with sedition. Most foul. Sedition, you say? Treachery, rebellion, insubordination. This is a serious claim indeed. Archon Graven Ash may have an inconsistent history, but his loyal ties to Kairos are well established. Present your case, Fatebinder. Graven Ash exchanged prisoners with the Vendrian Guard and willfully prolonged the siege. A crude fabrication, Your Honor. Ash was no doubt seeking to lure the Oathbreakers into a trap, though he made no such tactic known to the rest of us. If the great general engaged with the enemy for his own self-interest, then he is not as dependable or forthright as I once imagined. Even in loyalty, he brings great shame to the Legion. Do you have further evidence supporting the claim of sedition? We could choose to say that his daughter colluded with them, producing an heir, but that's not... His daughter's not on trial. I feel like that would be like circumstantial, you know, or whatever the term is. So we'll just go with, I make no more claims of sedition, Your Honor. Then let us move on to the charges. All right, the Archon is guilty of incompetence. I guess we'll just go down this list. Incompetence on this scale is no laughing matter. Lives and opportunities alike may be lost if a military commander performs beneath their expected rank. It's shocking to imagine Graven Ash failing at the task before him. Go on, Fatebinder. The court's attention is yours. I don't know how this one will play, but During the Stalwart campaign, the disfavored marched on Sentinel Stand even though an edict was imminent. I'm familiar with the Legion's march. It was a determined mission to rescue a lost unit of soldiers, among them the Archon's daughter. The reports that reached my ears spoke of great bravery, and yet many lives were lost. Have you any other claims? Nope. The Archon has perpetrated vile acts during this campaign. I accuse him of war crimes. I see. In a time of war, much is done for the sake of one's loyalties, but there are those who have justified monstrosities in the name of conquest. The court always desires its Archons to fall within Kairos' laws. I would be surprised if Graven Ash perpetrated misdeeds on this scale. Tell me of these war crimes, Fatebinder. Alright, we've got a bunch here. The disfavored encroached on the Scarlet Chorus operation in the Stone Sea. If the Legion put their Civil War interests ahead of the conquest of the Tiers, that shows great contempt for our work in the South. It's an insult to Kairos herself. Are we not at war here? Albatronus crosses her arms with a shake of her head. The Chorus is a mob of interfering little spies. Do any other war crimes come to mind? I found evidence in Lethian's Crossing that disfavored spilled first blood in the Civil War. I knew it. You inbred ironclads will pay for your schemes. Bloodmulch makes a crude face at Albatronus. Then the ire and conflict between the two armies has deeper roots than what transpired at Vendrian's Well. This is a damning accusation indeed. Do any other war crimes come to mind? During the Vellum Citadel assault, disfavored soldiers killed sages who were recruited to the Scarlet Chorus. You could have stopped right there. Killed sages. I failed to see the dilemma there. Albatronus grimaces. A brutal sentence, but were the sages not preparing to dispense forbidden knowledge? As I understood that the Archon of Song had enthralled them and loosened their tongues. As you say, Siren was involved. The sages didn't willingly break Kairos' law. A fair point. Since they had surrendered to Kairos' forces, they should have been treated as prisoners or recruits rather than hostiles. All right, so that we turned that one around. Do any other war crimes come to mind? I've exhausted my evidence. The Archon is guilty of hoarding forbidden knowledge. A difficult truth to bring to light. The fact remains that Kairos is the keeper of wisdom across Terratus, and there are avenues of study denied us under her immutable law. If the Archon of War is educating himself of forbidden matters, then it is worth deeper scrutiny. Make your case, Fatebinder. I found a dead civilian in the old walls of the Bladegrave. The disfavored sent him there, looking for an artifact. Come now, we don't need to punish the Archon of War over the wrongdoing of a Southerner, and a traitoress wanted that. This displeases me greatly. If the Legion thought they could trespass on the old walls by enlisting another to the task, then they were mistaken. The error in judgment could cost them the Archon's life. Can you voice further evidence that the Archon hoarded forbidden knowledge? Nope. So I think I could go back to sedition and implicate the daughter. I don't think I'm going to do that. I've made my case to the best of my abilities, Your Honor.
Very well. I have weighed your evidence against the charges. The Court of Tunon the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, and Counsel to Kairos the Overlord finds Graven Ash guilty of sowing chaos, holding his interests above those of the Overlord, and causing mayhem in a time of war. The sentence is death.
No. Please, Adjudicator. Ash is blameless. This upstart servant of yours has conjured evidence out of thin air. I'm tired of this quacking ironclad. Can someone put her in chains, or must we resort to a more immediate solution? Bloodmulch cracks his knuckles.
In accordance with Kairos' laws, the court headsman will deliver the verdict and its consequences to our former colleague. I summon Blood and Mark to appear.
Tunon bangs his gavel to the floor. Shadows billow and flare ominously, thicker than blood and deathly, seeping and gnashing, eating at the throne room from the farthest edges in, closer and closer, creeping still, until finally, for a single held breath, even the air goes black, and the light has been swallowed. And then there is light again, and Bledenmark, the Archon assassin, standing before you, shrouded in shades and daggers, and death, and with white teeth flashing in his mouth as he laughs. Kid, Adjudicator. He regards you each, eyes two coals that burn as he speaks. And who will this blade be cutting today? The usual? Or someone new? You're to execute the Archon of War, Graven Ash. A brow raised, the assassin flicks his gaze to Tunon. Been a while since I snuffed an Archon. Could be a tall order. Might take me longer than last time. He smiles, but it's a chilling look, something from a nightmare. Unless, maybe, the kid wants to take a stab at it. Do we want to kill Graven Ash, or do we want to let Bledenmark do it? I don't... I'm fine letting someone else take the credit. I'll leave it to your expertise. You are the court's blade, after all. The assassin shrugs in his offhanded, unconcerned way. He snaps you a passing wry smile, as if to say it's no skin off his back, and then turns to the adjudicator fully, utterly and wholly dismissive of you.
Go about your assignment, headsman. Trouble the court no longer with your displays or your bravado, and be quick to return with the guilty party. We will abide here until you return.
As you command, adjudicator, so must I enact. He bows low for the Archon of Justice, back strained. He cranes his face to you, face a hard mask as he stabs you with one last withering stare. Then the floor splits with a scream of shadows, a black ingress carving through tapestry and marble and ground, sibilating through time and space, a snake striking at an Archon, and Bledenmark disappears. The adjudicator turns his attention to the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus petitioners. Even through his stoic mask, the intensity of his gaze is evident. Your Honor. Albatronus holds her stance with nervous rigidity.
Your association with the traitor Graven Ash has doomed you in the court's eyes. Just as you share the Archon's protection, you will share in his guilt. What of her end, student? For your service, I offer you the freedom to determine the commander's fate.
This is so consequential. Man, I love this. Death or servitude? Those are our choices. I'm leaning towards death. I don't... If I knew more about this particular character, or if I remembered more about her, maybe I would change my mind, but I don't know. Let her burn.
So it is judged. Nunavon, deliver the sentence elsewhere. No need to dirty the floor with this one's passing, especially while we have matters yet to resolve.
All right. Yeah, it was a call without context a little bit, so those are hard in RPGs. Like, you don't have enough information, but make a choice. You know, I don't know. Patience, student. Bledenmark approaches anon. The Archon of Shadows is as swift as he is deadly. Tunon nods in approval. Ah, so he brought Graven Ash here. I thought he was going to kill him. With a swift, jarringly shrill hiss of shadows, the court's infamous assassin cuts from a swath of darkness, coalescing faster than the eye can follow into the form of a man, an Archon, dragging a thrashing, swearing, and snarling second Archon with him. Blood and Mark hauls a heavy and hunched, excessively dagger-struck Graven Ash forward onto his hands and knees. Spotting you, Mark grins coldly, his own teeth tinged with dark clots. You notice his signature red painted mask gleams a darker, wetter shade in places, dribbling down the side of his face and neck and pooling from other, deeper wounds to mix with the shadows on the floor. And he clutches a badly mangled arm to his chest. With a grunt and a twisted wince, he pries the tip of an iron spear from between his ribs. He flips the shard between his fingers, studying it admiringly. So he had quite a fight against Graven Ash. The North will remember this indignity, you ungrateful farce. My legion will come for you, and there will be no shadow dark enough for you to hide from their justice. A fresh wound going down Ash's face drips blood into his beard, staining it deep red. Blood and Mark sighs, likely wearied from the fight, but managing instead to simply sound put out. Stop your blustering. Despite the incessant and stupidly valiant attempts of your soldiers to draw arms against me, I didn't kill any of them, did I? Well, aside from the accidental few. Let's glare silently. My favorite option in this game. You will know my agony soon enough, paean of injustice. Ash spits in your direction, though it lands short. Lest you think yourself wise with the pitiful droplet of command you wield, it is nothing to my centuries spent guiding the Northern Legion. You're too enraptured with your own power to recognize why Kairos has turned us against each other. A black secretion, heavier than smoke but softer than water, roils from the Archon of Shadows, the assassin of unknown centuries and untold kills, and he racks forward, suddenly gasping a silent, shuddering breath, as his power billows from him, tangible and consuming, suffocating until it has crept from him enough to choke at another. It, his executioner's embrace, is a burgeoning blot of nothingness, an expanse of endless shade that twists and shuffles, flares and snaps, and swallows both substance and light as it slowly enshrouds a clench-fisted Graven Ash. The Archon of War hollers, a serrated shout of pain, and then even sound is consumed, and there is nothing but a darkness where the Archon had kneeled. When, with a clench of Mark's fist, the shadow sifts again into him, not even a trace of blood remains. Holy shit. Wow.
With that unpleasant business out of the way, we change course to another serious matter. One that puts into question your conduct as a member of Kairos' loyal followers.
Okay, I think now we're on trial.
You have made quite a name for yourself, Fatebinder. Stories of your deeds have spread through the tiers, and all of them have reached this court. Some actions have consequences. We will see what your actions have wrought.
I feel like that's a BioWare tagline. Some actions have consequences.
The court has its own charges to present, and invites you to answer for yourself.
Am I on trial, Your Honor? We asked innocently.
Yes, and I would ready yourself to form a defense.
All right.
Because your testimony could augur your doom.
All right.
The trial begins now. I recommend that you treat these moments with deserving gravity, as they might be your last. Don't attempt to lie or evade answers. I will judge you in the objective eyes of our overlord. Is that understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
At least your civility remains intact.
I'm just here to help. I love when you get to the end of a long RPG and you kind of get to the big moment where everything kind of comes together. And, you know, in most games, most RPGs, it's like a big battle sequence. You know, it's like The Witcher 3, you know, and when you fight the Wild Hunt at the end, or Dragon Age, where you fight the Archdemon at the end. But actually, Dragon Age is an interesting one because it has the whole the Landsmeet sequence, where there's all kinds of decisions you can make and they can all play out in different ways, and it's like everything you've done up to that point kind of comes together in this knot of consequences, and then you pick out which ones you want, you know, and that kind of leads you into the end of the game. I love that stuff, and I feel like that's where we're at now, or at least it has that same feeling of consequence and gravity to it.
You are on trial for transgressing on the Overlord's authority, breaking the laws of the Empire, bringing mayhem to an otherwise orderly conquest, and meddling in concerns that fell beyond your station. Our directive to bring Kairos' peace to the Tiers has suffered, and you will answer for the part you played.
All right, bring it, Tunon. If you don't mind, Adjudicator, we are on familiar terms with the Fatebinder here. Should any inconsistencies require our input, we will add our voices as testimony. She nods to Rogalus and then turns to you with an unreadable expression. I wonder if all of our emails to the Fatebinders are suddenly going to come kind of bite us in the butt here.
The court has inquiries into your conduct. I first call your travel companions to speak on your behalf as witnesses to your character or accomplices to your crimes. Who will speak on behalf of the Fatebinder? Scarlet Fury, you who sacrificed your old life for this one, step forward.
Oh boy.
Me? As if the likes of me has any business speaking in a grand hall before the Archon. Why, I've murdered enough folk to stack their bodies up to the podium 10 times over. Your Honor. The Fatebinder and I get along like a couple of cats. We scratch here and there, but there's
so
respect to be had.
the loyalty and fear
Sometimes I think we agree on
meter
too
kind
much,
of
but,
applies here.
Can't fight everyone. I suppose I've had worse bosses, and I suppose I've had better friends. But this one's something special. I've killed for her, and I'd do it again.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf? Tidecaster, let yourself be known to the court.
The court wishes my testimony. Well then, I am Ebb of the School of Tides, and this room echoes a lot. It's very intimidating.
I love Ebb.
I don't know what passes for glowing praise in this particular court, but the Archon gets my reluctant but uncoerced vote of confidence.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's
Okay,
behalf?
to the point, Ebb, thank you.
Let the aged chronicler step forward.
If it may please the court, I will speak true. I have had the honor and privilege of shadowing the Archon. A dream come true for someone so eager to witness history in the unfolding. I can say, with conviction, I am following greatness.
And if required, I could produce my travelogue to back my claims. I've noted the good with the bad, and I think you'll find the Archon has been a force of order and balance. Exactly what you should want from a Fatebinder.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf?
Evidently not. The time has come for the Fatebinder to offer her testimony. Though you were sent to the Tiers to dispense justice, on numerous occasions you have accepted gifts of rings in exchange for an unlawful ruling. Explain your actions to the court. I think this might be the times where I accidentally accepted a bribe because I didn't realize that's what the dialogue option would result in. Fatebinder Rogalus. That sort of thing happens from time to time. Rogalus laughs softly to himself. When the law is against them, suddenly everyone wants to make a donation to the court. He clears his throat when he catches a severe look from Tunon, but I will let my esteemed colleague answer. Okay, so the first option is to say I've done no such thing, and that is a lie. But I think we're going to go with the lore option, of course. So even when I asked for money, I never gave an unlawful ruling. I think that's true. I never wanted to bend the rules for anybody. At least that I can remember. By that reasoning, those who received your justice were the corrupt. A compelling argument, especially if perpetrators ended their day a few rings short. Okay. Apparently that never occurred to Tunon before, but okay. I dispatched you to the Vellum Citadel to deliver Kairos' Edict of Fire to the School of Ink and Quill, a punishment for their archival of forbidden lore and failure to recognize the rightful authority of the Overlord. Yet you hesitated longer than necessary in its issuance, warning the sages and allowing them opportunity to perform a ritual that preserved much of their heretical knowledge. The Fatebinder's actions spared more lives than books, Archon. There was little that could be done in the few hours before the edict came to pass, aside from fleeing with a handful of pages and the sandals on one's feet. The Overlord intended neither page nor flesh to be spared, Sage. Enough. The adjudicator rumbles, his gravel striking the floor. There shall be order as the Fatebinder answers this charge. Okay. First option, I wasn't exactly told when to issue it. I thought it left to my judgment. Seems like a pretty weak argument. Second option is the Archon of Secrets claimed to have spies among the sages, and he requested time for them to escape. I don't remember if that's true. It's not marked as a lie here in the dialogue option. The third option is the Vellum Citadel and the thousands of tomes housed within were the edict's target. Even with warning, the sages could only remove a tiny fraction of them. The sages could be broken without consigning them all to death. I'm leaning towards number 2. It's not marked as a lie, even though I don't remember it. And the third one is like, feels like we were being a little too presumptuous with interpreting the edict. So let's go with number 2. The adjudicator silently considers this. The request of an Archon could certainly buy a few hours reprieve from an edict if the circumstances warranted it. He nods slowly. You showed appropriate judgment in this situation, though I harbor suspicions of the Archon's motives for the entreaty. Well, that's fair. You entered the old walls, a clear violation of Kairos' law. How do you answer for this perversion of justice? Do you think yourself above the law? Okay, we could say circumstances took me there, Your Honor, not greed. We could say the law stood in the path of justice. Interesting option. They were open and available for plunder. I claimed the resources within before they could be used against us. Pretty weak argument, in my opinion. My only trespass came in pursuit of trespassers, that I might punish their transgressions. Does Archon's privilege not grant an Archon the right to administer their domains? Do not my spires rise from the old walls? Do not my senses flow through them? That's an interesting response. I don't recall if Archon's privilege is like an encoded thing in the law. And we weren't an Archon at the time, so I feel like that would be Tunon's response. You know, you did not have the protection of an Archon's privilege at the time. So we're going to go with number 2. The transgression was necessary to complete my tasks. The law stood in the path of justice. The circumstances you describe have no precedent, but I trust your reasoning. Awesome. That's good. Agents of my court are not immune to the law, but your position was an impossible one. You sent the forge-bound master to the Voices of Narada, where Kairos only knows what awful fate she suffered. She was under my protection. Yeah, I regret that. I regret that. But okay. The first 2 options seem like kind of the same thing. How was I supposed to earn his trust if not by indulging him? I fought the lore and the lore won. Well, it seems like we are the lore. But yeah, I've been writing down all these silly like lore puns, so thank you. I have a new one to write down. I don't know how I'm going to use them, but one way or another. um, how was I? Yeah, how is? I don't know. We'll go with the first one. How was I supposed to earn his trust if not by indulging his hungers? A fine question, Fatebinder. In whose trust do you place greater importance, mine or that of the Archon of Secrets? Because mine has been challenged to no end by your poor judgment. You are my vassal. You should have kept your priorities firmly in mind. All right. My bad. Ever since you arrived at the Tears, you have proven stubbornly tight-lipped. Your speech is often stilled as if by some great terror or apprehension. Can you even answer for this anomaly, or are you too simple to manage it? What? Am I being accused of glaring silently too often? Is that what this is? I love all these responses, though. I can say nothing. I'm the strong, quiet type. Tunon has responded well to flattery before, so the last one is like purely that. It's a tactic I picked up from watching your interrogations. Also, why is this being brought up as a charge against us? You're too quiet for a Fatebinder. Unless the game is actually responding to the fact that I'm like sitting here taking a lot of time reading the options, like is actually detecting how much time I spend in a dialogue tree before making a choice. That would be amazing. Let's just go with number 3. That's kind of the straightforward, truthful one. Let others do the talking while I observe and allow them to incriminate themselves. That is a better justification than I had suspected. Thank you for satisfying my curiosity. Holy shit, his curiosity felt like an impending death sentence.
I have one final question, Fatebinder. You were brought to this campaign to adjudicate the disagreements between the two armies. After your arrival, matters quickly escalated into a civil war. Did you knowingly join the conquest of the Tears to sow discord in your wake, or were you merely a victim of circumstance?
Well, I didn't knowingly do it. Let's see. The last one is glare silently. Good lord. Whatever I've done, the Archons have committed 100-fold. Weak. I recognized the Archon's corruption from the start. It was only a matter of time before they turned on each other, and I was prepared for that eventuality. Well, that's, for me personally, that's more of a thing that's obvious in hindsight. Number 3, I joined this conquest for the glory of Kairos, but I'm less certain that the Archons did for the same reason. Well, that's probably the most truthful option here. You're not seriously weeping over the failed campaign of this backwards land of savages. No, we're not going to go with that one. You credit me with starting a civil war? Adjudicator, I'm flattered. Okay, we'll go with number 3. We are a loyal servant of the Overlord after all.
It's possible, even likely, that the Archons traveled south with their own agendas. I make no secret of the fact that the more worthy of the two would have inherited the Tears to rule as their domain under Kairos, and ambition got the better of them both. They were expected to conduct themselves in a professional manner, as were you.
Professional manner? What does that even mean for, demigods? Conduct aside, the fact that the Archon's corruption is an assumed fact speaks to the success of this Fatebinder's mission. I don't know about the rest of you, he glances toward the other Fatebinders, but I find that mildly encouraging.
I am finished with my line of questioning. Have you any closing remarks for the court?
Interesting. Though I ever strive to bring peace and order to this shattered region, I recognize that our work is an uphill battle and well worth the struggle. I kind of like that response. The years have shown me that war and conflict can change the face of the tears. I am the hammer that pounds ore into a workable shape. Kairos' peace is a lie. The Overlord holds dominion because we are ignorant to alternatives. The better Overlord stands before you, ready to define justice as she sees fit. So that's the I'm the new Overlord option. Just wanted to say, I don't recognize this court's authority to judge me. Or I challenge you to a trial by combat, which would be funny, but we'll just go with number 1. It is well worth the struggle.
The way you frame it, the conquest sounds like a matter of true personal investment. Most curious. After weighing the charges, this court finds you innocent.
Hell yeah!
Against all reason or expectation, I find you innocent. Your testimony was sufficient to justify your deeds, your self-appointed authority, and your undermining of Kairos' law. I can hardly believe it myself.
Wow, he's like completely aghast. Yeah, score 1 for the vape binder. Tunon raises a trembling hand to his mask. What's gonna happen? Adjudicator, are you unwell? Rogalis takes a cautious step. Leave him. I want to see how this plays out. Callio leans forward with interest.
Archon, your presentation in the court today has shaken many of my core beliefs. Things I held sacred under Kairos' law are now uncertain.
Really? He looks at his gavel with a sense of bewilderment.
I once thought that Kairos was the sole overlord. The notion of rising to her echelon of power and influence wasn't a concept that existed for me, for anyone.
I'm not saying I'm the Overlord.
You have proven her wrong. What's more, you understand justice and law better than she ever did. Better than even.
Upon his mask, the corners of his eyes crinkle as if in agony. What is happening, you guys?
I am willing to accept you as my new sovereign.
Oh!
If you'll have me.
What? Okay, mind literally blown. I was not expecting this. I mean, I don't want to be railroaded into, like, rebelling against the Overlord. That's not the kind of character I was playing. So, Okay, I think we're just gonna choose the second option. Serve me as you served Kairos. I ask nothing more. Because I'm not looking to make a new empire like the first option states. Okay, I don't even know what's happening now. Serve me as you served Kairos. I ask nothing more.
My loyalty is beyond question. I will do anything for you.
Anything? Wow. Funny thing to say when you just turned coat on your old boss. Let's say we kill him just for the fun of it. I want to see what's under that mask. No, Verse, the adjudicator is ours now. I'm astounded. I just, there's nothing to indicate in our testimony that, like, we were somehow so eloquent that we, like, swayed Tunon to suddenly, like, switch sides. We're not even on opposite sides. Like, there was no side to switch to, but apparently we've outclassed the Overlord in his eyes. Okay.
My gavel and my justice are yours. I will execute your laws as you draft them, show mercy as you see fit, and bring to ruin all who would reject you.
Holy crap. Silently, Blood and Mark seeps from the shadows. He glides forward, palming two black-bladed daggers as his eyes dart between you and Tunon.
Adjudicator, kid.
He greets the both of you with a curt nod before stating his claim.
Allow this blade to cut to the point. I have an objection, or two.
He twirls both daggers, fingers moving deftly in and out of shadow, the movement nearly hypnotic and wholly blurred, and all the while his brightly burning eyes bore into you. Ugh. I mean, are these all going to end in an attack? Like, that's kind of my guess, but... Alright, number 2. Really? You have to do this now? I sent you a letter. We could have fought in a field somewhere. He smiles pleasantly, teeth gleaming in the darkness.
Look, it's not like I have a grudge against you. I just can't let you live on Kairos' orders. I'm sure you understand.
Okay. I'm torn. The lore option is one thing, okay, but then the second one, you know, Kairos' mandate doesn't require either of us to die. We only need to bow to one another. Again, I don't think I really understood what this final scenario was going to be. Like, at first I thought the Overlord had said that, like, Graven Ash and the Voices of Narada have to fight it out, and whichever one of them wins is in charge. Then it became apparent that it was like, no, actually every Archon in this region of the world is at odds against each other. You know, you all have to fight, you know, every man for himself, and you know, last man standing is in charge. But now number 2 makes it apparent that, like, okay, no, it doesn't have to be a free-for-all bloodbath. It can just be whoever rises to the top in any form or fashion is the winner. I kind of just wish I wish there had been like an in-game letter to read that, you know, basically laid out all the rules here. Because I'm constantly feeling like I'm not quite understanding everything. But okay. I can tell you've been waiting for this, and she told you this personally, did she?
Kairos has given me free reign of action to protect the Overlord's interests. The semantics are of little concern to her, though I admit they will greatly affect you.
It would appear the court headsman is determined to make his stand. Under normal circumstances, I would curb this behavior with a swift execution. However, we have long since abandoned normalcy. There will be a trial by combat then. Bledenmark's claim against your own. Justice will win out, and the will of the true Overlord will be evident for the living to witness. You may begin when ready, Archon.
So again, with this statement, the will of the true Overlord will be evident. Meaning me versus Kairos. Which again was not what I was going for with this character. You don't have to do this. Neither of us has to die here. Without further word or warning, the Archon of Shadows dissipates into darkness. The lights in the room flicker and dim as he surges forward in attack.
Your trial begins anew, Archon. Prepare to defend your title, your innocence, and your very life.
All right, boss fight. Achievement unlocked. The prosecution rests. Let's check that one out. I have not played Archon, Foe. Yet another one that I haven't even heard of, actually. Okay, we did that one. Convict an Archon in Tunon's court. Okay, so that was, I guess, relevant to Grave and Ash. Okay. We might want to go for consumables here just to give us an extra edge, you know? Plus 50 defense. Okay, we're not actually in combat yet, so I can kind of move things around, which is good, I think, because we're gonna need the help. All right, let's get some of these to you. Lantry, let's give some to you. And I don't know. Sort of like an earlier battle chess with more of a fantasy flair. Real early EA game, I think. From before they sucked. Yeah. So weird looking at those early ads for EA and just seeing like a bunch of computer nerds, you know, like in black and white, just kind of looking at the camera. It was really interesting seeing those old ads for back in the day. All right, let's maybe give some poison to Verse. Maybe that'll come in handy. I don't know.
Trouble is afoot.
Okay. You drink that. You drink that. You drink that. And you... You drink this. Okay. Okay, we're gonna mark him so he gets extra damage.
I got it.
Oh, okay, he's doing some crazy magic shit. Verse is hobbled, apparently. Can we even target him? No, I guess we can't. All right, he's back. We can do it now. All right, let's mark him. That attack did not hit. Interesting. Okay, let's try sundering his armor. Maybe that'll help.
Words cause more harm than this useless.
We're doing a lot of like grazes and misses, so that's kind of interesting. Actually, fuck it. Let's do quick in the rest. Let's just call fire from within our being.
The trick is to be too still until you.
All right. Lantry, let's get some buffs going. First, I guess. Chromatic arrow. Okay, yeah, that sounds cool. And okay, yeah, you're doing that, and let's just drain health from him. I think that will be helpful.
I'm on.
Okay,
Bleed out, you little shit.
see how these go.
Let's try that again. Sorry, I can't. See that one coming.
Okay, we're whittling him down. I mean,
Too old for this.
you know, he's holding his own, and it looks like he healed himself. But I mean, we're not like getting completely wrecked either. So okay, what else can we do here? Let's just try this again. Oh, he's way over there. Why is he way over there? All right, let's do a cool combo ability. Oh, badass.
Learn something.
That did a ton of damage. Love it. All right, let's try to slow him down a bit. And let's try to mark him again. If we can get a hit in.
Oh, that can't be good.
Okay, the slow helped. Oh, we've got some ads coming in. What are these guys? Creatures of Darkness. Interesting. Interesting indeed. All right, well, fuck you. We're gonna light you on fire.
They'd be feeling that one.
Okay, let's
Got it.
try to take on some of these ads.
I'll be feeling that one for a bit.
Oh no, Lantry, you're in trouble. Drink a potion. And maybe drop some more buffs. These things aren't too hard, it looks like, but they're still delaying, just focusing down the big bad. It's kind of good though, because as we kill them, we'll get an AoE heal for everyone we kill, so yeah, this actually might be kind of helpful.
My wisdom is finally catching up to you.
Nobody saw that, right? On it.
This guy's tough. He actually, you know, heals himself and... Oh, shit. Verse, what's going on? Okay, we need to start protecting ourselves from status effects, I think. Eb, why don't you move closer? Let's see what other options we have here. Let's see here. Create a slowing aura around a party member. Okay, let's try that. Oh man, we are getting rocked. All right, let's command her to stand back up. You drink another potion, please. Yikes. This is getting really dicey. Shoot. Okay, we're gonna try healing Lantry.
Easier is you not getting hurt in the first place.
All right, now we have 2 characters dead. All right, we brought one back. Okay, let's try to revive Verse with Lantry. And then I think we've got... Okay, and I think we've got a combo heal that should heal everybody, which I think we need. This is crazy. Ah, shit.
On it.
All right, well, our healer is down, so that sucks. All right, Fro, thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Have a great day, and I will see you soon, hopefully. And hopefully I'll get through this without too much more trouble. Yeah, you too. Thanks.
We make this look easy.
Okay, let's try this crazy ability.
The trick is to keep twisting until you hear the snap.
Oh no. Okay, we need a potion. Are you serious? I can't heal myself? Ah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Let's try some buffs, I guess. Oh, and he keeps healing himself. Holy shit. I might be in trouble here. I might actually be in trouble here.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Oh god, alright, I don't even know what to do here, but alright.
Nope, sorry. Oh, that won't be good. Will do.
Yeah, I have nothing to say. I'm just like basically watching my whole party get murdered one by one.
Let's see here. Oh, that much doesn't kill me.
Shit.
Leaves me bitter and jaded.
The trick is to keep twisting.
See, I don't even know when my last save was, so
Fall before me.
yeah, I think I'm
Did
dead.
I always have this much blood? Oh, got dark all of a
Holy shit. Alright. Damn. Maybe I just need to focus him down, like ignore the ads? I don't know. I don't really have much way to level. Okay, we're back at the start of the fight, at least. All right.
Adjudicator, allow this blade to cut to the point. Look, it's not like I have
Okay.
a grudge against you. I just can't let you live. on Kairos' orders. I'm sure you understand.
Okay, well, we tried the lore option and that didn't work before, so let's try number 2. Chunon is willing to swear to me, why won't you?
I would not so readily hand my leash to another. Really? Did you think I would allow myself to be used by someone like you? That you could send me to strike at the Overlord? No. I would feel your blood pool beneath my feet first.
Okay.
It would appear the court headsman is determined. There will be a trial by combat then.
Alright, I guess I have no choice then.
Your trial begins.
Okay. Alright, let's try this again. Holy smokes. Let's drop some more freaking potions in the mix if we can. Eb, how are you doing for potions? Let's give you these. Lantry, you're doing okay, I guess. All right. All right, we're gonna quick save here. Assuming that works. Whoops, I hit the wrong key. Quick save complete. Okay. All right, so that worked. As far as consumables to try this time, what do we want to try? We do have a potion of revival. I need to keep that in mind, I guess. Maybe let's just... All right. Let's maybe try... All right, we don't need elemental barrier. But what other potions do we have that could be useful for Ebb? Yeah, I don't think elemental barrier is actually going to be useful here. Armor stolen. Maybe we could give that to Landry. I don't know. Shit, maybe that'd be good for Verse too, since she has to get in close. I don't know. All right, we're gonna quick save one more time. And let's see. Let's do some raw meat for our character, our main character. Ebb, why don't you do X... Let's do extra armor. Lantry, let's give you extra armor. And Ebb, or sorry, Verse, let's give you a toxin. All right, let's see how this fucking goes.
Right.
Okay. Let's see here. How do we want to approach this? Let's get some more buffs going. You buff Verse.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, now, Lantry, you drop the AoE buff. Okay. And then you... Well, okay, let's unpause and then light him on fire. Okay. Let's try sundering. Okay, we're getting the debuffs going. That seems to be working. Now let's try marking him for extra damage. See, I think that missed. That didn't work. All right, well. Let me think here. Let's try rooting him and terrifying him. Let's see how that goes. Oh, we're poisoned. Okay. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. He's immune to terrified and rooted. That's interesting.
Iron ring for every dumbass mistake.
Okay, we've got the ads. So they're all the way over here. All right, let's try to drop an AoE heal down. And let's see if we can't just focus him down, maybe?
Aye.
Okay, Ebb, why don't you try drowning him? Okay, yep. Dazed, fatigued, and marked. That is so interesting. See, I don't know. Like, he healed up. But do I need to kill them in order to continue harming him? Or is it just sort of a thing he does periodically if you don't focus him down? Let's just continue trying to focus him down, I think. All right, let's see here. Oh, let's do this potion of heroes. We're a hero in the moment, right? Okay, let's just try burning him up. All right, let's continue. Well, he kind of vanished, didn't he? Okay, this is fine, though. This is fine. Okay, Ebb, let's do this. Lantry, let's try to get some heals going. I still think I want to try just focusing him down and kind of ignoring these other dudes. However, Lantry, maybe... Let me think here. Well, all right, we need a... Got some great heals that just kicked in. That's fantastic. Okay. Try slowing Blooded Mark. That would be good. I do believe. And you... Try drowning him.
Consider it done.
My characters aren't... They're not focusing them down.
Learn.
Need you to focus that guy down. I think the trick is that. We'll see. Okay, all right, we got him down to 1 dot of health. First time we've got him down this low. Okay, Ebb. Yeah, just do some more magic stuff. We'll try marking him. I don't know that it's gonna work, but Okay, we're getting somewhere.
Good aim.
He did heal himself, but only 1 dot, so hopefully that's good enough. Let's try to remove some of these bad effects. Let's just, I don't know, let's just keep lighting him on fire and stuff. Okay, all right. Okay, can we do this? Can we do this? Yes, let's try the combo ability. Ebb, try healing her again. All right. Okay. All right. Let's just keep focusing him down. I think we can do this. Also, we leveled up right before I think we were about to die, so yikes, I guess.
If I had kids, they'd be feeling that one.
All right, we're gonna drink a potion real quick. Oh gosh. Try to keep the buffs going up, and hopefully that will be enough. Oh, we are suspended. That is a new one.
Aye.
I don't need that.
Okay, this is a problem. No, first, fucking go back,
Doesn't it?
zap him. This is so frustrating. All right, well, maybe we can get some other buffs going. Where did he go? We've got a bunch of creatures of darkness, but I don't see our main boy anywhere. That's worrisome. Okay, let's just go after this guy, I guess? Okay, all right.
Satisfying.
We got some other shadows. Shadow. So these are different from the creatures of darkness we've been seeing up to this point. Oh boy, this is crazy.
Fine, just fine. I don't need that rib described.
Okay, so we took out the little ones. Now we've just got these mysterious shadows, I guess. So let's go after those.
I'll take care of it.
I think we missed. Oh, I think he disappeared. Oh, blood and mark. Okay, so the shadows vanished. All right, let's all go. Come on, we can do it.
The trick is to keep twisting until you hear this.
Right. Yeah! Now fire.
All right, guys, we can do this. We can do this. All right, Ebb, let's go with the drowning again. Lantry, let's go with the slowing. That was actually really helpful. First, I don't know, zap him. Okay, yeah, do some bouncing attacks. Oh, okay, all right. Phew. Excuse me, I just I burped from exultation. Golden glowering eyes wide with surprise, the Archon tumbles to the ground, coughing blood as dark as the shadows that billow and ebb around him. He clutches at his shattered ribs and grins.
Look at you. The surprise of a lifetime.
He gasps, drowning as his lungs fill with blood. The light in his eyes dims as his pupils seep blackness, expanding to fill the whole of his eyes. A look of meaning passes between you, his fingers digging into the ground.
Don't die too easily. Won't look good for me.
You've gained Wrath with Tunon. Why?
This brightness is blinding.
Master, if you'll join me upstairs, I will pledge fealty to you in the lawful manner.
Okay. Are we gonna have to fight him too? In the lawful manner. Why can't you do it in here? You have defeated Bledenmark. That was the first, like, I mean, we had the fight earlier on that we had to level up a bit and then come back to, but this is the first one that was like actually challenging. Ash's favor plus 5% while has wounds. That's interesting. That's kind of neat, actually. Binding of Shadows, heavy armor. Can't fucking use heavy armor. And a big ol' hammer, which nobody is using. That I'm a little annoyed by these. I mean, maybe I can use this. Maybe I can wear this. Maybe I'll try wearing it. We'll take that, and then we'll just dump everything else in the stash. Also, we have a level up for our main character, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, let's just boost magic some more. And this is probably gonna be our last level up. So what do we want to... What do we want to go with? I mean, we can just keep boosting our thrust attack. I mean, that's kind of cool. Inspire a companion, granting bonus might, wits, and vitality. Adds a stun effect to the Sunder ability. That would have been helpful, I think, just now. Let's do that. That seems fine. Kind of an underwhelming way to end our leveling, but that's okay. And then as far as wearing this thing goes, extra armor, extra DPS, but less, I guess, defense or whatever. Actually, minus 10% all damage taken. Holy shit. Well, let's put it on.
I'll just hold on to this.
Is this an ability? An active ability? Let's see here. Artifact abilities. Shade Skin. Minus 10% damage taken. Plus 20% arcane damage on hit. Deal bonus arcane damage with each attack and gain bonus damage reduction. That seems cool. Once per rest. All right, we'll do it. We'll take it. Try it out. See what we think. So we need to go up. It looks like. I wonder how close to the end of the game we are, you guys. Ah, I was. I wanted to save before this. Ah.
Archon, change has come to the Tears, and in time it will reach the Empire itself. You are the agent of that change, and even I could not have predicted what impossible heights you would reach. The time has come to take up the gavel and usher in a new age of structure and law to the Tears.
All about that law. Oh, wow. Look at all these people.
You will henceforth define justice for the rest of us.
Wow.
I will follow your lead and endeavor to follow your design.
Your loyalty and confidence are appreciated. We'll just go with that.
As the ruling Archon of the Tears, I submit to your authority and thank you for bringing order out of chaos. Go and represent the strength of law. Be the example the Tears require, the force that keeps them together, and the hope for their future under one rule. Let your justice know no mercy but that which you impose. Civilization itself will bend according to your design. Never forget this.
Achievement unlocked. Final Judgment. Holy smokes. Well, I think we're going to call it there for tonight, but holy crap, what an incredible way to end things here. Huh. Okay. Let's save. So we still need to confront Narada. He's kind of our last open item in the to-do list. The time has come to move against the disfavored and defeat them once and for all. I mean, we already killed Graven Ash. I'm wondering what's going to happen when we do this. That is wild. That is wild. Okay, cool. Whoops. I've already forgotten if I actually made a manual save, so we're going to do that again just in case and call it there for the evening. I'm guessing we're going to finish this game next time, you guys. I guess I don't know for 100%, but I'm going to try to play this weekend, which means I'll have plenty of time. So either Saturday or Sunday. We'll just see how it goes. I was not expecting. Okay, so one thing I liked about this game, like present tense, not past tense, was that you're not a hero saving the world. You're just doing stuff. You're doing your job, honestly. And I really like that perspective. I guess it has become, yet another, I don't want to say chosen one exactly, but you know, I mean, a whole bunch of people just kneeled before us and swore fealty to us. So, I mean, you know, it might not be heroic, but we are certainly becoming the one that the world revolves around again. And just as far as RPGs go, you know, that's pretty common. So, okay, I guess I have a slight disappointment that we are becoming such an powerful force, you know, but the presentation of it and the way it came about, A plus 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 plus, very unique, very interesting, just delightfully surprising, all the way, basically. So, I'm very happy about that. So yeah, next time we will confront Narat, and I will happily put a knife in his gut if we can. So, yeah. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. I've had a lot of fun streaming this game, and I'm glad y'all come by and hang out and chat. And, you know, even if you're lurking, I appreciate you. So, thank you so much. I am going to bed, and I will hopefully see you all this weekend. And we will finish this one way or another. So, y'all have a wonderful evening, and I will see you soon. Bye.